Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy BB27 here, and welcome to another SML review. This one's for the brand new episode that came out, the Charleyyy and Friends Problem. This episode was genuinely so good, and it just feels so nice to finally be reviewing an episode I like a lot. Because some of the last episodes I reviewed, I didn't really care for as much, and I've been pretty negative of Logan this month and the past month as well, because April was just bad. But it feels really good to just finally review an episode that I genuinely loved, and I'm really impressed by this episode. So the plot of this episode is basically they finally bring back Braxton, aka Bowser. If you guys even remember who the hell Braxton is, he's never in the videos, but he's Junior's dad. They bring him back, and he's watching Charleyyy and Friends, which was an old show that, used to be in the videos all the time, but hasn't been in a video since like last year. I think they showed him one time, that was it. But the show basically, the ratings are low. The producers, writers, all of them, like they're like stressing out, and they want to reboot the series, right? So one of the writers comes up with an idea to reboot the series as an animated show. So the show gets rebooted into a animation, like for like kids, and Braxton freaks out watching it. He absolutely hates it. So he's just wondering, what can he do to try to fix it? So Junior suggests that he calls up the place and lets them know, and basically files a complaint to them. So he does this, and it's really funny because Braxton thinks that he's like talking about, like, he wants to like threaten violence to them, instead of just like complaining about the show. So that whole part is just amazing with him talking to Junior and them. But yeah, so he calls them up. He actually goes there. He finds out the address. He goes there with like a gun, and then like him and the director dude like get into it, and then he realizes that like he made a mistake because the dude thought that the ratings were down, but they actually weren't, so he just made a stupid mistake, and he realized people wanted the old Charleyyy back and like didn't like the new one. So they eventually reboot it and bring it back. And then that's kind of where it wraps up. Like, the plot isn't like super deep with this episode. It's very heavily focused on Charleyyy and Friends, the show, and that's where a bulk of the content comes from. So you actually wouldn't think it'd be that interesting. There's also a huge lack of plushies being used in the videos, or puppets. I mean, I guess just puppets, because you don't really use plushies no more. But there's almost no real puppet time besides Braxton and the one part with Junior, which honestly, that's not a bad thing. Like, usually I would complain about that, but that's not a bad thing. It's just something I noticed. Like, there's a very big lack of puppets in it, but there's just so many good scenes in this episode, and it's just genuinely such a creative and fun episode. It feels like something that Logan would have done way back in 2014. I mean, the whole idea is straight out of 2014, like, Junior era. A Charleyyy and Friends focused episode, Bowser being like the big character in it, and just like all the funny shit that happens with it. And it's just like, I don't know, there's just a nice charm to it. Like, you could still tell it's kind of modern Logan, right? Because it's so heavily focused with the cast instead of just like the puppets like it usually would be. But there is a really strong vibe of like 2014 nostalgia coming from this episode, and I love that a lot. The jokes in it are great. The pacing's really good. There's no big filler in it. The only thing that's stopping me from like giving this a 10 out of 10 is the whole like 2 minutes that go on where they actually show the animated Charleyyy and Friends. The animated version of Charleyyy and Friends is really just childish and dumb, and it's kind of hard to sit through. But that's kind of the whole point of it, is like they want you to hate that because Braxton hates it, so they want you to hate the show too. So they make that part a little bit just annoying on purpose. But that's really the only thing that's stopping me from giving this a 10, because this video is really good. I love the jokes in it. Like I said, I love the whole cast, like just how they bounce off each other really well in this episode. And it just proves that they don't always need puppets all the time for the whole 10-20 minutes, whatever, however long the video is. Like, they don't always need the puppets to carry it. They can do it with the cast and the skits they have going on, and I love that. And Charleyyy and Friends is such a cool return and comeback. And like I said earlier, I just love the 2014 vibe of the video. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. It's really close to being a 10 for me, but there's just a couple things holding it back. But it's still incredible. Like, I'm very impressed with this episode. I'm glad Logan finally like did something creative again and just brought back some old stuff, and really, and I like how they explore the lore of it too. Like, he goes deeper with the lore of Charleyyy and Friends, like the producers. Just as I'm finally praising Logan, he puts a fucking ad in the middle of the video. Anyways, yeah, he explores the lore of it, and I like that a lot. Like, we never really get to see the behind the scenes of Charlie and Friends. You know, Charlie and Friends is just something that used to just kind of happen for like a minute, and then that was it. But this whole video has like all this deep lore of it, and and what really goes on, and I just love that. That is hilarious to me. So yeah, again, 9 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. I'm finally impressed with an SML video for once, so I'm happy about that. And I hope they continue to do creative stuff like this, even if it's stuff with like Junior and his friends. Like, I don't know, maybe Cody makes another invention that's really like awesome, and it brings them back, and like, goes back to like 2017 form where it was like really cool. I would love episodes like that again, or even just like this. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, stay lit and peace out.